Good morning and welcome everyone. Get a better view. Welcome, welcome, welcome. Hope everyone is doing well. I know I am doing just fine. Good morning. How's everybody doing? Welcome everyone. Welcome, beautiful YouTube family. Yeah, so how's everybody feeling this morning? Feeling okay? Feeling great? It's a good day. Top of the morning to everyone. So, yeah, you saw the name of this description. It is cultures. And as I may say, I am doing the United States versus Japan and Konnichiwa. So, welcome everyone. Welcome, welcome, welcome. So, I just wanted to do a little something different. I know a lot of people get up here and everybody's doing their own thing and trying to get the people to come into their live. And I just wanted to do something a little different. So I wanted to discuss the culture between the United States and Japan, which I personally find it extremely fascinating. Um, I got a listing of things that they may do in their country that we just don't do here in the United States. It's their tradition, it's their ways, and being that that's a country I've always wanted to go to, and I still do, and someday I'll get there. But you got to realize when it comes to a lot of these countries, you have so many different cultures, so many different ways of doing things. It's totally, you will find amazed that they may do that we don't do. So I'm going to start with indirectness, which is Japanese communications. They tend to be indirect, while we as American, typically we are more direct and explicit in the way we do things. Um, Silence. Silence in Japan is often valued and seen as a form of respect and thoughtfulness, whereas the United States, we're comfortable, just things are just awkward, just have a tendency of, whatever. Apologies. When it comes to Japan people frequently apologize even for the smallest, the little tiniest thing they're apologizing. Whereas an American apologize less often, and they are to believe to be at fault. They don't care, and that's the truth. I'm speaking from experience. They really don't care if they are at fault. They're not going to reach out and say, "Hey, I apologize for what I did." Okay, when it comes to facial expressions, American often display um, open emotions, while Japanese people might mask their emotion to maintain harmony. They may be, kind of to themselves and, kind of hide it a little bit. Whereas that, we as American, we just open, we just out with it. We whatever we feel, we're gonna express it. That's just how we are here in the United States. Conflict avoidance. Japanese culture, they emphasize, like I said, on harmony and they avoid confrontation. They don't like to argue, they don't like to fuss, they don't like to do none of that. While Americans are more comfortable with the debate and conflict. It's like whatever, we can get this we can get it started right now. They don't care about a conflict. They just there. They're just open. They don't really care. Eye contact. Eye contact can be seen as aggressive in Japan. Whereas that we as Americans, that's a sign of confidence. Like we're just sure of ourselves. Like, okay, I got this, you know. They're looking you eye to eye, direct, contact. Greetings for Japanese. Smiling can be a masked emotion or severe as politeness, whereas that United States typically is a sign of friendliness. Personal space. Japan people prefer more personal space in public, while Americans are generally more casual about physical proximity. Now, when it comes to their profession and how they work, now Japanese, their workers, they work long, long hours each and every day and prioritize groups and efforts. Whereas American emphasize work life, which is just balanced and thought of this just to be evolving. That's just the way it is. And a biggie, seniority. Japan values seniority and tenure in the workplace, whereas the United States focus more on their merits and their performance. Punctuality. Punctuality punctuality is crucial. It's very important in Japan. Um, Americans are more forgiving of slight tardiness. We here in the United States, if we're tardy, we're like, okay, I'm late, I'm gonna be late or this, but not, you know, not those in Japan. They have to be on time everywhere they go. They are people who believe in just punctuality is everything. Holidays, they have more of a national holiday rooted in their tradition, whereas that the United States holidays are often, you know, Independence Day, religious, uh, stuff like that, religious freedom. The workplace hierarchies. Japanese workplace are more hierarchical, whereas United States workplace is often flatter. I don't know why, but that's just the way it is. Overtime working. Overtime is seen as dedication in Japan because that's their belief in what they believe in. As in the United States, uh, excessive overtime indicate poor management and is it's that poor time management, whereas that they need new management to help with the crew. Gifting in Japan is a formal symbolic in business. In the United States, it's just, everyday thing. It's common for birthdays and Mother's, Father's Day, Christmas, whenever. That's just how we do it here in the United States. Networking. Japanese relationship builds slowly over time, while Americans value quick transactional networking. Huh. Gratuity. Tipping is not allowed there. That's something that they just don't practice. Um, it is, believe it or not, it's considered as being rude. And here in the United States, that's what we do. We go to a restaurant, it is like mandatory to tip your waitress or waiter. It's just how we handle things here in the United States. Public behavior. Japanese people are quieter in public spaces, whereas that Americans have a tendency to be extremely loud when we're in public, or if we're at a bus station or airport. Oh, there's a lot of noise. You're going to hear a lot of people talking. They're on their cell phones, they're texting, they're doing whatever. But in Japan, you're not going to see that. It's just totally different than what you would typically see. Japanese people are neat, they're quiet when they're standing in line, whereas Americans may be less formal about lining up. It may be a line, three lines, whereas that they may have just one straight, neat line, and they're quiet. No one's on their cell phone. They're just there doing what they're supposed to do because that's their culture. That's just what they do. Now, their dining etiquette is a little different from ours. Like slurping noodles is considered a sign of politeness, whereas the United States is seen as that's something that we don't tolerate. If you see someone slurping noodles here, they're going to look at you like, what are you doing? So it's considered as being rude here. And as far as their shoes indoors, Japanese people always remove their shoes indoors. Americans, we don't do that. Now, the only way that we would do that is if we get caught in the rain. If we get caught in the rain and everything we got on is soaking wet in our shoes, okay, but then, especially if they're work shoes, and then we'll leave those shoes outside. Other than that, we don't bring our shoes in the inside. That's just how we do it here in the United States. Drinking culture. In Japan, it's common to drink with colleagues after work. In the United States, drinking is often just sociable, just something that you may do. Some may do every night when they come home. They have dinner. They may have a drink. Um, or on the weekend, if they're with friends and they're grilling out or whatever, they'll have a drink. So it's very common, well known to have a drink and to drink like that. Their culture. Gift wrapping. In Japan, presentations is important as the gift itself. In the United States, it's less emphasis on it. It doesn't really matter what it is. If it's a gift, it's a gift. It comes from the heart, naturally. Privacy. Japan people value privacy and avoid intrusive questions. Americans are often more open about personal matters and they don't really care. They want to get into your business and dive deeper into the situation. That's just the way of how things are here in the United States. Punctuality for social events. In Japan, punctuality extends to casual meetups. And here in the United States, US arriving fashionably late is acceptable. So if you got an event going on No matter what it is, if you arrive late, it's it's okay. And they believe in punctuality on everything that they do because that's just how they live. That's just what they're used to. Education, of course. Japanese education stresses discipline and memorization. American education encourages creativity and critical thinking. Oh, how do I know that all so well? Huh. Critical thinking. Religion. Japan blends Shinto and Buddhism in everyday life and everything they do. That's their belief. They blend it all together. The United States is more diverse and openly religiously. Now, when it comes down to their celebrations, Americans' weddings are often large, personalized, expensive, and you're going to be paying for that wedding. That is, if you're rich and you got money, you're going to be paying for that wedding for a very long time. Whereas at Japanese weddings are more formal and traditional. They're just really minimalistic. Their fashion, Japanese fashion balances tradition and trends. American fashion emphasizes on individualism and comfort. And pretty much their fashion, whatever they're planning on attending, or uh, if they're going out with friends, they're dressed for their occasion. They're going to a wedding, they dress for that occasion, or they're going out to dinner, they're dressed for that occasion. Their fashion, whatever they put on, or whatever a trend is going on, they'll dress for the occasion. Seasonal awareness. Japanese culture celebrates the seasons. Cherry blossom. American acknowledge season more casually. Here's a big one. Respect for the elders. Yeah, I studied this right here. Japanese people show strong difference to elders. They respect them. They Elders come first. They acknowledge them. Whereas that United States respect is shown just a tad bit, but a lot, in my opinion, a lot less formalized. Like the elders in Japan, they get the utmost respect. And I truly believe that's just how it should be. Now, gender role. Traditional gender roles are more pronounced in Japan, though changing the U.S. embraces gender equality more open than anything else. And when it comes to nature, Japan deeply respect nature and incorporate into their daily lives. Whereas that Americans, we appreciate it, but often emphasize convenience over harmony. And those were just a list of few things when it comes down to culture compared to the United States to Japan, and how we just different so much. We're just different so much from one another. And their ways of living and how they do things, how, they love on the elderly, they respect the elderly and their family. versus here in the United States, it's a game changer. It is. So I just wanted to kind of get up here a little bit and just talk about different cultures. And that was one of the cultures because I love to travel, and that is just one place I would love to go someday. And when I feel like when you travel like that, you need to know their tradition and their cultures and how they live so that when you get to that place, you won't be surprised about a lot of things that we may think that are going on over there and it doesn't exist. So, hope you guys enjoyed this and guys be blessed and have a good one.